Hey guys, well, welcome back to the Windsor Time channel. Today we are joined by an alum, Nate Cho, one of my buddies. We are here in Bond Street Wines again, filming. They've been gracious enough. If you are in the neighborhood, there's really no better place to come and grab a glass of wine and just kind of hang out, especially in the middle of the afternoon like we're doing today. So, what you got on the...
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, I was trying to think. So that was like 2 or 3 years ago?
Feels like 3 years ago.
But
since the pandemic,
time flies.
No sense of time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
But no, to your question, I have the
kick it off.
2001
Nice.
Series 2. It's a chronograph with the Agenhor movement in it. So just really
amazing.
pretty on the back.
It's gorgeous.
And kind of one of the things I love about just watches and watchmaking is they play with a lot of materials and design.
Absolutely.
But that we had Praneeth, their CEO, come through and kind of host our watch club.
That was really cool.
I actually can't remember
good
how long
time.
ago. Maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago.
I think, yeah, it was close to 2 years,
Yeah.
something like that.
It was a very fun time. So.
Ming is funny, you know, the watchmaking is phenomenal, but then even just the straps that they do, I think are phenomenal. And then I'll get a shot of the clasp where it like folds through so there's no tail.
Yeah.
I think it's just really, really fun.
Yeah,
So
they do a great job.
it's cool, and that blue is awesome. So, you know, in our friend group, in our club, you're kind of known as the Micro Ren watch guy. That's what we talked about a little bit. So we have a handful of really cool micro brands here. Where should we start?
Maybe we'll start local.
Okay.
So one that came out partly actually to celebrate the 250th anniversary of our country is the Bernhardt Cipher.
Such a cool piece.
It's a based off their diver that they just announced at the end of last year, but kind of has a hidden feature where when you hit a UV light on it, it will show a cipher so that you can rotate to a certain time and decode a certain message or encode a message with the bezel.
That's amazing.
So definitely fun, and they're based out of North Carolina in High Point.
Yeah, absolutely. Michael is actually here back there behind that wall or out there somewhere.
Yeah.
But I remember when he was designing that watch, the idea I almost couldn't believe nobody had ever done before.
Yeah.
It's just such a cool execution. I'm really, really excited for what he did with that piece.
Yeah. What I like about watches, again, is the community and the people.
Yeah.
Right? So getting to know him and hear him bounce ideas off of a bunch of us around what he's working on.
It's fun.
And you'll hear the same theme with actually the other watches I have with me today.
We didn't, obviously, but I almost feel like because he talked us through the process so much, we had like a small part in kind of designing it.
No, very much
We're really
so.
there for the journey.
Yes,
So
I
that's
agree.
been really, really cool. So awesome start there, and that's one well under 1,000, correct? Or right at, in that range.
I think like $700 to $800 range.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of watchmaking you're getting for that price is just phenomenal, and Michael put a lot of love into that design, which is cool. So.
And it's very neat that it's made here in North Carolina, or designed.
Designed, absolutely.
Designed,
Moving on, so let's talk about Trilobe. We kind of started off with a classical diver, and then we're getting into something incredibly esoteric and different.
Yeah.
Admittedly, it's a brand I don't know a ton about, so I'm actually kind of excited to talk about it.
So this was in their kind of first series of watches. This is the Nuit Fantastique. I might be butchering that, but what I like is that they approach this with how do we tell time without hands? So it's a series of rotating discs where the main subdial down here is the seconds. The pointer above it does the minutes, and then the outer ring does the hours. And so they just rotate through very cleanly. And they're based in Paris. And so they started out with a source movement, but the cool thing was not too long ago, they actually launched an integrated bracelet version of this watch, a very similar version of this watch,
Yeah, we'll put a shot up on the screen.
of their own in-house movement too.
Yeah.
So it's just pretty cool to see them advancing and doing that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Actually went on a family trip out to Paris last year, and it was very cool just to get to go check out their new shop, and they have a place in there for six watchmakers.
Yeah.
So got to bring
phenomenal.
this piece back home to see.
Yeah.
See where it came from.
The pink dial, especially on the lighter kind of taupe strap that you have, just plays so well, even for this time of year.
Yeah.
Specifically because it's spring and things are kind of coming back to life.
Correct.
So I think that is just really, really
I
cool.
think this is also one of the areas that is kind of cool with some of these small emergent brands is that they're willing to partner with you and try something different.
Yeah.
So in this case, this actually is a piece unique. There are no
Oh,
other
wow.
pink dials.
Wow.
So and I think they're probably still open to collaboration. One of the other cool things they did was this idea of capturing that essence of time, or at least period of time,
Yeah.
where they will do kind of the night sky pattern based on from a certain perspective and
Yeah.
a certain time.
Oh, how
if you
cool.
wanted to do that, yeah, and that
Didn't
looms,
realize that.
which is
Wow.
kind of neat. Yeah,
That's awesome.
I think that's probably why the name of this series is what it is.
Yeah, and I mean the finishing, I love how they have the polishing around the edge, but then those brush surfaces play so well off of it.
Yeah, and on the
It's really
movement
cool.
side, even though they had contracted somebody outside, I love how they stacked everything
Yeah.
vertically
Micro
down the
rotor is
middle.
really, really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Last but not least, we have a purple dial watch.
Yeah.
What are we looking at?
So I actually owned the first variant of this watch, which came out in steel on a light blue dial, and this is the Perception by Atelier Wen. And it didn't make sense to have both for me, so fortunately one of them was able to find a good home to it with another member in the club.
Yeah.
But they did this as a time batched order, where for 1 year, or for that year, so I think last year, they said anybody who ordered in this time can get this watch.
So cool.
So as opposed to their standard run, which is in steel, this one's in titanium.
Oh wow.
They've actually also done this watch in tantalum too, which is pretty cool.
That's wild.
So two Frenchmen trying to bring watchmaking, or I'd say highlight that China can make nicer watches.
Yeah.
They've actually introduced another tantalum piece. I want to say it's $30,000. So they're really spanning the gamut and pushing them upstream.
Yeah. Incredible.
So
Such a cool
the
bag.
Guilloche dial is actually done by a master craftsman in China who built his own. I want to say he built his own equipment to do the Guilloche. So.
Insane. Such a cool piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing has kind of always been, Swiss watchmaking is the only thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then obviously with like Nomos and Longa and stuff like that, we went out to Lashuta.
Yeah.
And, now I feel like China is kind of on the verge of also showing, they can make great EVs and also watches as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is just such a fun piece and something really, truly different.
Yeah.
So what else, you are
And
the
actually,
micro.
we'll call out
Yeah.
one cool thing. It's also some thoughtful things. And while a push button on the clasps to adjust the micro adjust exists in other watches like Longa and IWC, I thought one of the cool things was to shorten the clasp. When you open it, the part that folds over slides out, so that you can fit it over your wrist, but
how
shorten the length
cool.
of the clasp as much as possible. Especially for
is
those with
interesting.
smaller wrists, and maybe this might be because of where their target audience is.
Yeah, absolutely.
They found a clever solution to that as well,
Oh,
which I love.
That's awesome, man. So what's on the radar next? You're the micro brand guy. What are you interested in next? What's your next micro brand piece?
I'd say more on the indie side. I
Yeah.
think last time I was on, I'd mentioned the Ludovic Ballard Upside Down. That's still high on my radar.
That'd be a cool one.
It's just trying to balance the discussions of, do I get a few more pieces at a more accessible price, or kind of go big
Or one big one.
on some of these other
Well,
ones?
and that's something, I feel like you do such a great job of having, your larger brands, but then you sprinkle in just really fun stuff like
Yeah.
this. So it's a nice contrast. But yeah, for anyone's collection, I feel like that's a struggle to figure out a balance of, do you have 20 really good watches or like 5 amazing watches? I don't know that there's an answer. We'll never
I don't
find
know if
one,
that's
but
the right
that's the
answer.
journey.
But yeah, it's getting to try new things, and I think that a lot of it that I appreciate now is having this community and actually Windsor Time as a mechanism to enjoy a piece and move it on, or find one secondhand if it's not something that has a presence here for us to buy.
Definitely. Yeah, we do have some fun micro brands in the shop. Not specifically Nate's. There's maybe
might
one
be.
watch in there. If you look for Speak Marin,
Speak Marin, yeah.
there could be a very cool one in the shop.
Yeah, lots of loom.
Yeah, lots of loom. And a loomed NATO strap, if I remember correctly, that you
Yes.
threw on it,
Yes.
which I think is just so much fun.
Yeah.
But awesome, man. Well, thank you for popping on.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
We'll have to do a third installment at some point in the past when we have some more fun micro brand stuff.
For sure. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you guys as always for watching. We'll see you next time.